I'm trying to...
All right, we are now live with the first session of the day, and I have the COO of MDEC, Dato Wan Peng, with us to do the first keynote of the day at our base online summit, and the topic will be adopting digitization to transform and sustain your business during and after MCO. Dato Wan Peng has been with MDEC for a very, very long time, and I always saw her going, giving a lot of talks out there, talking to entrepreneurs, talking to industries, and we're really honored because this is the first time ever we actually get to invite her to be with us and share her insights with us. So, Dato Wan Peng, you want to say hi to everyone?
Thank you, Fong. First of all, thank you for inviting me to this session. The opportunity to share with the audience on what we do in MDEC is something that we always value. To all the audience out there, I hope you are all keeping yourself busy, staying safe and well while working from home. Many of you may have heard of MDEC, Malaysia Digital Economy Corporation. We are a government-owned company. We have been around for coming to, next year will be our 25th anniversary. Time just flies.
Wow.
You may heard of us doing all this MSC stuff. Yes, we continue to do that. Nowadays, focus is driving digital, either investment, adoption, or building of digital workforce, because we all believe that digital is the future and all of us should understand what digital can bring to us, especially the benefits to the business community. Because adopting digital now in this current situation where we are all under the MCO, people who are ready on digital platform can see the benefit. For those of you who are not yet on the platform, it's not too late. I would like to take this opportunity to share with you on how you can quickly onboard digital platforms so that you can continue to run your operation.
So as I know, MDEC is also a pretty big organization. How are you guys coping with this MCO?
We, like I said, we as an agency or company that is driving digital transformation, we ourselves has to be digitally ready. We have the tools available to allow us to continue operation. Because the basic thing nowadays is the tool, the platform that allow us to communicate with our employees, with our stakeholders, and also with our community, the people that we serve. We are lucky today. We have so many tools that we can use. Before that, we are, I think all of us are on WhatsApp, and email is a common tool. But now with Microsoft Teams, with Zoom, with the one we are using, the StreamYard, there's so many tools that we can use to continue to communicate. And the type of work that we do is very service-based. Therefore, we can continue our operation, including providing training to people not within MDEC's employee, but people outside. We have many sessions that we have been doing, webinar, training, and all those things. Actually, we are actually very busy. We are keeping ourselves very busy now, even though it's MCO. Because now we don't have to travel from one place to another. So the traveling time now is being used, being utilized for us to do more brainstorming, for us to do more planning, and also for us to reach out to our community.
In fact, I was just talking to one of our friends earlier, and they were telling me, mate, during MCO, he realized himself working a lot harder and a lot longer time because he didn't have to go anywhere, and it's like every day seems like the same day, and he's doing a lot more work, in fact. So without further ado, I would like to invite Dato Wan Peng to start with your presentation. So you may want to start sharing your screen now. And we have our topic, adopting digitization to transform and sustain your business during and after MCO. For all our audience who are coming in front of the screen right now, watching live, you are welcome to send in and type in any questions that you have for Dato later. because she'll be with us later, and her team is going to be around, and we'll be selecting some of these questions, and we're answering you also in the comment section. So Dato, all over to you.
Thank you, Feng. The topic of my sharing today is adopt digitalization to transform and sustain business during and after MCO. It is very important for us to realize that when we talk about digitalization, it's not a short-term thing. It's not that because it's MCO, we do that. We want to share that after MCO, you should continue with your digitalization. And I would like to share with you some stats on the impact of COVID-19, not just MCO, but impact of COVID-19. So if you look at this chart, you will see that from OECD's prediction, COVID-19 will lower global GDP growth from 2.9 to 2.4% for 2020. That is actually very optimistic. This can maybe go down if you look at what's happening around the world, including the #1 economy in the world, United States. And it's actually very, very worrying. World Bank also talked about the response to 14 billion to help sustain economies, protect jobs. And I think throughout the world, there are more and more countries, governments are coming in to look at how they can stimulate the economies, protect the jobs. Because when economy is stopped, the jobs are no longer available, it will drive us into a recession. United Nations says the same thing. It says that global economy could shrink by almost 1% in 2020 due to COVID-19 pandemic. And McKinsey and Company says that US and Eurozone economies could take until 2023 to recover from the impact of the COVID-19 crisis. So all these things are telling you that we need to do something to save our economy. We need to do something to save our jobs. We need to do something to save our own business. And growth is forecast to decline sharply in the region. So we're talking about negative growth. This is a term that people use. Malaysia's 2020 GDP growth projection has been cut to negative 0.1% by World Bank. Before this crisis, we're looking at 4 to 5% growth, but now it's negative. So you look at the total impact to our economy will be quite huge. And the deeper policy response is needed to mitigate impact of COVID-19. World Bank says that. World Bank asks every country, every government to start looking at this. And these are some of the early indication of impact of COVID-19 in Malaysia across different industries. We look at services sectors. I think everybody know that aviation, travel, and tourism will receive hardest hit. That's because people stop traveling. People do not visit. The hospitality industry will also be impacted. So even after MCO, because of the limited, and also our personal choice, many of us will choose not to travel or choose to not going out as much as what we like to. So business will not go back as usual. Retails and consumer goods, the steep drop in consumer demand will likely delay recovery because all of us are worried about what is going to happen next. So people may choose to conserve the cash they have. And that also means that consumers will choose to buy the essential items, but many of the nice to have things, they may think twice before they will spend money. You look at the Malaysian March manufacturing output, deeper policy response needed to mitigate. So all these are headlines that you are hearing. This is some quick study by Magic. Less than 3% of startups and social enterprises expect to survive beyond 12 months if current situation persists. And another survey, quick survey, says that Malaysia traditional SMEs are heavily impacted by COVID-19. Three main issues facing by SMEs currently are sales are impacted, meaning many of them either they do not get new sales or existing jobs may have been shortened or cancelled because of the COVID situation. As a result of that, the cash flow is running very low. either very low or some of them cash flow may have stopped for the business. And limited access to customers, especially for the traditional business. They close shop or they stop opening up the shop during the MCO. That means the customer will stop coming. Because many of them are running traditional way. They do not have a digital presence. If you have digital presence, it's okay because you can still reach out. But if you do not, that means customer and you, the relationship between you and customer will stop almost 100%. But if you look at some of the other example in other countries, enterprises in China, because they have slowly coming back to their normal business, because I have been following up on what is happening in China. And for instance, many of their companies have returned to work. They say that they're coming back to more than 90% has resumed their operation. In terms of people returning to work, it's more than 80%. So there's something that we can learn from them. Enterprises in China, what they do is that they really allocate labor flexibly to different activities. So instead of choosing to lay off, some of these creative enterprises are actually reallocating the employees to new and valuable activities like recovery planning or even loan them to other companies. So these are two things. If for some of them during their own lockdown period, some of the businesses like restaurants loan their employee to some of the manufacturing that is allowed to operate. So in that way, they keep their staff, but at the same time, they ensure that there's enough money for them to pay the salary of the staff. Many people actually shift their sales channels. They redeploy sales effort to new channels in B2B and B2C enterprise, especially online. So this also helped them to, in a way, weather the impact of this COVID and impact of the MCO. And using social media to coordinate employees and partners, something that many of us are also familiar with. I think even before this period, many of you, I'm sure, are using certain tools like WeChat or WhatsApp. So in China, of course, they use WeChat. Enterprises has taken to social media platform to coordinate employees and partners, subsequently aim at increasing its sales. So these are two things. Because even though we are working from home, it's important for us to continue to communicate with our employees and also our partners and our customers. If you have a social media presence, you can do this easily. And with this also, especially when you are able to communicate with your partners and your employee and your customers, you can learn from how to do this effectively. When this lockdown or MCO is over, you can continue to use this tool to increase your sales through this channel. So what I'm trying to say here is that when you go digital, it's not for a temporary measure. You should also look at it as a longer term and continuously to leverage this platform to drive your sales. And of course, if you are more ready, especially like those in China, what they do is they harness big data. Big data and real-time analysis can improve operations and also strengthen supplier inventory management. And this is very key. Some of you may have heard that MDEC has been driving data analytics as an initiative for the business in Malaysia for many years already. You may think that this is for other people, is not for you, or you can wait. But this crisis has taught us a lesson. You should be more prepared and not just wait. So I will encourage more of you to start looking at big data and data analytics as a tool for you to continue your business, especially moving forward. Your consumer behavior may change. The supply chain may change. So it's important then for you to start looking at data to plan your business, to plan your activities. And lastly is to leverage on e-commerce as a solution. Many of us have something to sell. Because e-commerce typically we look at it as a product that you have. And during this period in China, we see that many enterprises have shifted their focus onto e-commerce. E-commerce have something that you are familiar with, which is the marketplace, but there's also social commerce. Social commerce normally is for people who run smaller business, but you have something you want to sell. You can start creating a web presence, like on your Facebook or even on WeChat. Then you can start running your business. Today, there are also many people are offering delivery service. And once you've set up your e-commerce and social commerce channel, you can also link up with the delivery channels for you to send your goods to the people who are buying from you. So these are some of the learning, and many of these actually applicable to us in Malaysia as well. Apart from what I just said, I just want to share that certain tools are something for you to take note of and start using it if you have not started yet. First is the remote working and communication tools. These are some of the more common ones that is being used in the market, like Zoom, Slack, WebEx, Teams, GoToMeeting, etc. This will definitely enhance communication and productivity. If you do not use it, I would strongly encourage you to start using these tools for you to communicate with your employees, with your partners, and with your customers. And we also notice, at least from MDEC point of view, productivity doesn't dip when employees work from home, especially when you're accountability from employee. When you're using these tools, you need to start look at how best to engage. In the past, you may go to a meeting room and you can walk to somebody's cubicle and start talking to them. Or today, you can still do that using these tools because it's really straightforward. Of course, we can also accompany that with our phone calls and stuff like that. Because especially when you're using it for the first time, you may need to get yourself familiarized with it. But I can assure you that after once or twice, it's just come naturally. Digital marketing is key at this time, especially you cannot go out and run an event, offline event. So using digital marketing will improve your communication to your customer. And you can also be more targeted. Just now I mentioned about using data analytics. Digital marketing with targeted audience and targeted marketing and personalized marketing, sometimes it can bring even higher, a better result. And digital marketing is easy to scale and adapt as well. So, and there are many tools out there and many service providers you can work with. You are not familiar with that. If you want to, you can also learn from some of the online training. You go to YouTube. You can pick up a lot of tips on how to do this. E-commerce, I talked about it, and I cannot stress enough that this is very important. We have a platform, we call it Go E-commerce, where we support people who wants to move to e-commerce. On this platform, you can learn the tips. You can also link up with potential partners, including the marketplace players, the logistic players that can help with your business. Why e-commerce is very important, especially now? Because you can continue the business even after business hours or during the MCO. You can use e-commerce to provide after-sales service, provide additional avenue for sales. These are all the benefit that e-commerce can bring to you. And in the past, you may be, if you're running a traditional business, you may be limited because of geographical constraint. But e-commerce coupled with delivery service, it can actually help you to overcome your limitation in this aspect. And if you do a good marketing and making sure that your e-store is done properly, you can gain new customers because most of these customers will use search engine to look for product. And if you position your product right and describe it correctly with the right visual, new customer is easily found. That's what we will like to recommend. And obviously, when you go online, electronic post of sale system and digital payment will be some tools that you want to consider using. Even though today cash on delivery is still accepted, but we also want to move to a more efficient way. Digital payment allows you to collect payment even before the goods is delivered, and also help you to manage your cash more efficiently. And when you want to deposit the money to the bank, it's also automatic, can be automatically done. So all in all, it will help to improve your cash flow management and also help you to better record your collection of sales, as well as how you pay out to your supplier. And during this time, you may also want to consider some of the online HR and payroll systems. This can help you to manage your employees under one digital platform. Also help to save time and money, because it will reduce paper usage and long process of doing this process. And you may ask, how then do I embark on digitalization? These are some of the tips and some of the view that I would like to share. First, you need to improve your information collection, decision, and feedback capabilities. The digitalization can help decision makers to see the full picture with more clarity and to make smarter decisions leveraging big data. So when you do digitalization, it's important for you to look at the data that you need to collect and then use it effectively. And when you digitalize also, you need to improve your capability to digitalize your office management. Degree of digitalization needs to be deepened. So you must not limit yourself to marketing internal process, but entire office management employees is something you want to start looking at. Don't worry too much of the word digitalize, but actually start looking at how you want to improve your process first. And then start looking at the tools that you can, digital tools that you can use to help you to manage your process improvement. And look at the core operation and management that you want to digitalize. When you digitalize, it's not just about the consumer behaviors that you want to work on, but also the enterprise productivity and collaboration. So again, I will go back to what are the processes that you want to improve? What are the things that you have been thinking about? How nice if you can do this. So this is time for you to rethink, reimagine your business first, and then start looking at area you can improve, especially area you want to improve the productivity, and how you can use all these tools to improve your internal and external collaboration. I'd like to share some of the support that MDEC has put in place. We have looked at and mapped how SME digital journey look like. It essentially starts with the digital presence, and then you start going into the transaction part. After this, and how you operationalize the business, and following that, to improve your process will be the back end that you need to go in. After that is the emerging technologies like AI, the big data. But if you are the first timer, I would suggest that you start with the digital presence first. That means you create a website or have a Facebook page. That will be the first thing. And then after that, you go into the buying and selling using your platform. After that is done, then you start looking at how do I deliver my services or sell my services, sell my goods more effectively? This is when you start linking with the payment, you start linking with the delivery service, and so on and so forth. After all this is done, then you also want to start looking at your supply chain management and how do you want to improve your process, your workflow, and stuff like that. And those are the journey that you can. Of course, you can also do some of these things concurrent. Doesn't mean that it's that you can only do step 1 before you can do step 2. So that is what I would suggest that you look at. And at the bottom of the slide, you can see a list of the names. And I would like you to start capturing this because these are the services that currently MDEC is supporting. E-Usahawan is mainly for the micro SMEs who wants to go online. Go e-commerce is our platform where you can register your interest to go e-commerce. And you can also pick out some of the tips through the learning modules that we have on this platform. The FDZ is mainly for the cross-border e-commerce. So if you have something you want to export and you are ready to export, you can go to this platform to register your interest. E-Ladang is mainly for the agriculture sector, the farmers who want to adopt technology. You can come to this, join us on this E-Ladang platform to see how to use technology to help with fertigation and stuff like that. I can share with you that we have helped some chili farmers and their production has improved by 20-30%. The income also improved by 20-30%. We have big data initiative. You can either is learning big data or to work with the expert to use big data to improve your business operation. We have cybersecurity initiative where if let's say you are already using technology, you may want to see how to enhance their protection, and cybersecurity is one area that we put a lot of emphasis on. Cloud adoption, this is again is a very key initiative. If you are using technology but it's on-premise, then you may want to consider going cloud because not only is easy, it's also scalable. You also can reduce upfront costs because cloud adoption, cloud as a platform normally is a software as a service. Using that, you can go on a subscription model. Using subscription model means the cost to adopt technology is significantly lower. DTAP is our digital adoption acceleration program, digital transformation acceleration program. This is meant for companies who wants to digital transform your business, and we have partners who are well versed in this area. You can also tap into some of the grant that is available. And I'm going back this way. 100 Go Digital is an initiative that we go out to engage SMEs to go digital. We just recently gone to Johor, in fact, last month to share on what can be done. So from on today's leveraging today's sharing, I'd just like to encourage all of you to come to MDEC's website. If let's say this is too much for you, just come to www.mdec.my. You can find out more on what we are doing to help companies to go digital. This is a bit more information on 100 Go Digital. Is an initiative to excite and educate Malaysian business on digitalization, focusing on digital adoption benefits. And I share here about the locations where we are running the different initiative. It may be not relevant to people in those areas that is already that we have gone to, but doesn't mean that you cannot come on board. If let's say this is physical location, but we can also have online. And these are the partners that are supporting our 100 Go Digital. Essentially, we want to create more awareness and onboard more businesses to use digital to digitalize your business. And I'm happy to also share that This initiative is supported by SMA Business Digitalization Grant that we launched on February 17. Up to 5,000 per companies will be supported by Bank Simpanan Nasional as an SME bank. DTAP 2.0 is a business transformation accelerator program. This one is to enable businesses by providing a structured, I stress the word structured, it's a structured approach to adopt digital with outcome-based results. Our current partner to help us on this one is UOB's Jom Transform. We had a very successful program with them last year, and some of the businesses can see improvement, productivity gain by 30% just 1 or 2 months after adopting digitalization. We are confident that this year, with this structured approach, more SME can benefit, and this approach will be complemented by MDEC Smart Automation Grant to be launched soon. It's not launched yet because we are still receiving feedback from the partners and industry to see how best to launch this. But definitely, the applicants and also participants of the DTAP 2.0 can look forward to this MDEC Smart Automation Grant to help with your digital transformation journey. We anticipate that after this program, we can see significant improvement in productivity, customer engagement, and new sources of growth using emerging technologies for the companies who are ready and want to be part of this program. Some of the digital adoption incentives you may be familiar, you may not be, but I will take this opportunity also to share with you. The SMA Business Digitalization Matching Grant is a 5,000 matching grant. Government has allocated 500 million ringgit over the 3 years starting from this year. MDEC will provide advisory on digitalization area and furnish a list of technology solution providers to support the initiative. The disbursement entities are Bank Simpanan Nasional as well as SME Bank. The Smart Automation Grant is 50 million ringgit for 5 years. MDEC is a party that's managing this and disburse this grant. This is specifically for companies under the services sector to automate their business processes. If you are manufacturing, there's a similar smart automation grant is part under MIDA that you can check and understand a bit more. The other things that we are supporting, Digital Transformation Accelerator Program. With this one, there is also a 30 million ringgit grant that run for 3 years. And this money is parked with the Domestic Investment Strategic Fund, DISF, under MIDA. MDEC and Digital Transformation Lab, these are our partners for the DTAP, will provide advisory and structured approach to address pain points and develop proposed solutions for the companies taking part. Last but not least is the Industry Digitalization Transformation Fund. This is a 3 billion ringgit fund that's run for 2 years starting this year. Actually started earlier last year. And in this case, MDEC is a party that provides advisory on digitalization areas. The money and disbursement is parked under Bank Pembangunan. You may ask, how can I leverage on digital solutions during COVID-19? So this is something that we put up, and we believe that it's something that you can immediately adopt. The steps are very simple. We provide the information largely through the associations that is taking care of SME, like SME associations and similar organization. The association will promote to the members to register your interest. So what we need is very simple: your contact information, the area you want to digitalize, and on a form. The form you can obtain through the URL that is you can see up there. It's called bit.ly/SME Quick Wins. You just have to register your interest, and then we'll contact the members and share lists and contact instruction on digital solution providers based on your areas of interest. And after that, you can contact the solution providers directly for engagement. MDEC will, to understand whether this is useful and impactful, will track and monitor progress with the digital solution providers. We are also running something called hashtag digital versus COVID. This is something that we have been working for close to 2 weeks since MCO. If you go to this website, you will find a list of the tech relief solutions during COVID-19 pandemic. It's very simple. Go to our website just now and talk about it, mdec.my. You go to mdec.my home and C19 tech relief. All these things will be there. But you just go there and click. If you cannot remember all those things, just go to mdec.my. You click, look for the digital versus COVID and click through. You also can find this list. Inside there, we have a list of partners who come together to provide either free or discounted solutions that you can make use of. If you go to this digital versus COVID, you can also find a list of free online learning, online training site that you can go for. And during this period, 7 of our key partners has also made their communication tools free of charge to people who want to use it. So I will encourage strongly that all of you take this opportunity to go in and start using this tool to help your business operation. One thing I want to stress is that disruption is disruption. So it doesn't matter if technological, economic, environmental, political, or pandemic. Even before the pandemic, our businesses has already been disrupted by the other people who are more creative, who are more innovative. And even for our business, we should look at ways to transform, and digital technology can play a critical role in helping you to transform your business. Disruptions will come. It's just that because of pandemic, it comes faster. And we should always respond, which is, do you want to adapt or be disrupted? Currently, the disruption is forced upon us faster, so you can see the impact. I will also say that because of this, so digitalization become even more important. The runway is becoming shorter. So it's important that we start adopt digitalization and start transformation now and don't wait any longer. And we are lucky because many of our agencies and industry players are coming together to provide this support to the traditional businesses to adopt and transform. So don't miss this opportunity. And also what is very important is that many of these services currently is provided for free. So don't wait, start adopting and start transform your business. Start small, understand your business, what do you want to achieve, and break your business problem into something that you can manage, and then start adopting technology to drive your business forward. Thank you very much. And that's my sharing for today. And I look forward to seeing many of you start adopting digital technology and ensuring that your business will continue to thrive in this difficult time and also post this MCO. Because COVID-19 will have impact for the next few years. It's time for us to start doing something to save ourselves, to save our business, and to save our jobs. Thank you very much for your attention.
All right. Thank you very much, Dr. Wan Peng, for the sharing. I definitely see a lot of values, and there's a lot of things on digitization that MDEC is actually doing to help the industry. So the question for Dato, right? There is about 100,000 SME or 1 million SMEs in Malaysia, and a lot more are companies, corporates, right? So how many of them are already being digitized or say digital ready?
If I base on the data that was compiled earlier by SME Corp, I would say that people who has a digital presence are less than 50% currently. Corporate, I mean, big corporate, obviously, they are all quite well taken care of because they know what to do.
Yep.
But for the smaller, especially the micro, many of them are still not on digital yet.
So what is the target for MDEC to drive this digital transformation? Is it for everyone, every company to be, you know, very digital ready or to do digital transformation? And how far are we from that?
Okay, I think when we had to set a realistic target, if you ask me, of course, I want 100% of the people to be
Yeah.
And this is really possible. But I would say that everybody is transforming in the holistic way. But like I share in the session, we want people to start doing something. So that's why my first target is that if you are not yet on digital, let's have a digital presence. Have a website or have a Facebook page, something like that. And then take step by step. This year, we are looking at, if let's say, just now I talked about the DTAP, right? So if let's say we can have a few hundred of the SME to go fully digital transform, that will be great. But to have a digital presence, I'm looking at tens of thousands additional.
Yep. So, and I think one of the things that you mentioned earlier in the session is that this pandemic definitely had fastened a lot of us companies are going through digital and had to be forced to kind of like adapt, right? And you also mentioned about China. A lot of people in China also, when they started the pandemic, it also kind of like people start to adopt a lot more in terms of all this technology. Do you see this thing happening very, very fast also moving forward in Malaysia? Whatever happens in China, is it going to happen down here as well?
I believe there are certain portion of the community will definitely be doing that. The other day, I had a session, a discussion with a group of people. This gentleman was telling me, he's from manufacturing side. He said that before that, he never know about all these tools, you know, he was saying that it was Team and Zoom. But because of this MCO, he learned from his daughter on how to use it, and I find that it's really good and interesting. Now he's using it to communicate with his employee. So that's why I say that, yes, people will start to find ways, especially if you are serious about your business continuity, you will be finding ways to ensure that your business can continue. So yes, I see that. And we run a lot of e-commerce activities, and number of people who are signing up have increased as well. And during this pandemic, we know that delivery service, especially those who are linking up with either the e-marketplaces or the food panda type, right? The demand actually has increased. People will find ways to survive, and I see that will continue to happen. But we have to understand, in China, the consumer are quite savvy because all of them are using, because they have like leapfrog in many ways. So some of these things will happen in Malaysia, but we still have a group of people who may not be aware. So we need to go out and create more awareness to encourage them to do that.
Is it because what's the reason stopping us from like completely, you know, like getting to this point faster? Is it because of the cost when going digital transformation, or is it because just purely because they just didn't know these things appear out there that can be used? From your point of view, what can be done moving forward to actually address this and make it a lot faster?
I think awareness is very key. You are running a community, so it's like, should you leverage the community to go out and create more awareness. During this period, I noticed that many community leaders has come out and start going out to their members to start exploring ways to digitalize. So I think that is a good thing. Awareness is key. We are also running something called Digital Enhancement Center. It's a new initiative. We are going to roll out very soon. We want to use all these different channels to reach out to people outside of the common area so that more people can start learning how to do digital. Another initiative is PERDAS. PERDAS is where we are using the existing facilities like Pusat Internet to reach out to the community for them to start going digital. Other things are our e-recipe, but this is not so much for businesses, but mainly for individuals who are looking for opportunities to earn some income using this platform, like sharing economy, gig economy. These are all the things that we should continue to promote. Cost, depending on what you want to do, I mentioned just now, there are many services is free of charge. You can start from there. But once you get the benefit out of digitalizing your business, then you can start looking at some more advanced tools that can help you to grow your business. Invest in those tools, big data analytics, digital marketing. These are all the tools that I think businesses should start looking at it. And you may notice that, well, services is the most, my opinion, services is the most easiest for us to digitalize. But many professional services are actually not doing it. They still prefer the traditional method, like maybe like legal, maybe accounting firm, audit. These are all professional services, right? And it's so easy for them to offer these services online, but many of them are not doing it. Another one is like education. How many people truly utilize digital tools to reach out? I don't think they're doing enough. Many of them may think, oh, I'm running a small business, I don't need it. It's not true. Even as an individual, if you're running a business, like let's say I'm a coach, I can do online coaching easily. So this is again like calling out to people out there. Every businesses can be digitalized, and it's the easiest is really services. So services should start looking at that now.
All right, then we are almost up with our time, and for all audience in front of the screen watching this live, and if you have any questions in mind that haven't been addressed that you wanted to ask, remember to type it out in the comments area. And Dato Wan Peng and her team is going to be selecting some of these questions and answer your questions in the comments area. So once again, thank you very much, Dato Wan Peng, for spending your time sharing with us. It is very, very informative. We see a lot of information that we can all utilize, and it's all through at the MDEC platform. Is there any last piece of advice you want to share with all our entrepreneurs or SMEs in front of the screens in the community?
Like I say, okay, what is important is that the audience here, I believe that most of you are business owner or you are working for some businesses. So digital transformation is actually very key for you during this difficult time and also after the MCO, because COVID-19 will have great impact on all of us. In order for you to continue to operate and even thrive, you should start relook at your business, relook at your customer, and then spend some time planning on how you want to relaunch your business moving forward. You may be still selling the same thing, or you may be still providing the same service, but you have to look at the way to deliver it differently. And of course, during this time, planning your cash flow is actually very key. So don't forget about that as well. And work together with your team to look at how to redesign your entire business approach so that using digital technology can help you to achieve your goal more effectively, and hopefully is also easier for you to move forward. So that's what I would like to share with everyone.
All right. Thank you very much, Dato, for sharing with us. And for all our audience sitting in front, we'll see you at the next session. All right. Thank you.
Thank you.